Hi, my name is Cassandra. I was born and raised in Hong Kong, and today I will share with you my story dealing with fat shaming and body dysmorphia living here. I've briefly mentioned about it on TikTok and people just invalidate my experience, but the truth is they have no idea about the beauty standard here because no one talks about it. I've seen TikToks about foreigners getting called fat when they move to Japan, or people getting considered size large when they travel to Korea even when they usually wear a size small. I will leave some links down below if you're interested to find out more. I don't know which countries in particular have the same beauty standard, but this is the case in East Asia for sure. But I will only be talking about the case here in Hong Kong for the sake of this video. Also, I will be mostly referring to girls since that's my own experience, plus the society definitely puts more pressure onto girls to be skinny, but in no way I'm invalidating any fat shaming that males experience. I guess I will start by talking about the beauty standard or the skinny culture here. Then I'll take you through my whole journey dealing with fat shaming at different life points. In the past few years, there's a shift in desirable woman body type from being skinny to being thick. Who would have thought I would love my big thigh and wide hip one day when I was insecure about them my entire life? I don't think that should be trends for our bodies, absolutely not, but that's just how society and capitalization are. However, there's no such trend here in Hong Kong. Being skinny has always been the trend. Yes, people do talk about how chubby girls are better in recent years, but what they mean by chubby here is nowhere near chubby. Here's the definition of a chubby girl in Hong Kong standard I found on the internet. It's that basically when girls are not skinny to a point where it looks bony, if you slightly have excess fat in any parts of your body, you are considered as chubby. And here are some celebrities that are considered as chubby by the media. Yep. Big thighs and wide hips are still considered as negative features here. Maybe wide hips could be a positive one, but not too wide and only with the prerequisite of being skinny. I remember there was a time a guy I know asked me,
"Why is your butt so big?"
Not in a sexual harassment way, but more so a judgy way. You're probably having cultural shock hearing this, but yes, I did get judged for that. As much as I love my body now, sometimes I still feel like I'm not allowed to be proud of my body because of the standard here. I'm glad that in recent years there are more and more people talking about body positivity, but unfortunately body positivity is not a thing here either. I remember seeing a girl in Hong Kong posting herself dancing in a bikini at the beach on TikTok, and the comments were nasty. It's all filled with fat shaming comments, 95% of them. And I really couldn't stand it, and I had to leave something positive there. I sent this TikTok to one of my friends telling her people are so mean, but later on the video was no longer available. People really fat shame her to the point where she feels the need to delete the video when she was simply having fun. I've personally gotten these comments multiple times before as well. The society here is like, if you're fat, you shouldn't be wearing certain things because it's disgusting to the people's eyes. I know these kind of people exist everywhere around the world, but it's really deeply rooted here, as if it's a norm. So what's the standard here exactly? I found a formula from an article by a local magazine. It said, according to the statistics shown, girls in Hong Kong has an average height of 159 centimeters. Using this height as an example, the healthiest BMI is 18.5. Blankets, Japanese has a standard BMI of 19. Putting these data into the formula, you could find out the answer, which means you should weigh 46.8 kilograms if you are 159 centimeters tall. For one, I don't understand how 18.5 is being considered as the healthiest value of BMI, because that's the lower limit of the healthy BMI range, which is at the border of being underweight. But I would say this formula is a good representation of the beauty standard here. I will leave you the room to judge whether it's extreme or not. Also, if you're wondering how could girls weigh so light, I do think Asians weigh lighter in general. I didn't do research on that, but I also saw WHO has a separate BMI standard for Asians. Besides that, girls here try to lose weight without getting toned or gaining muscles, because having muscles is being seen as manly. The only part they are interested in gaining muscles is probably abs. As muscle has a higher density than fat, people can weigh lighter with a higher body fat, which is what people call skinny fat. If you look at the celebrities in the entertainment industry here, you can see all of them are really skinny. You're probably thinking, oh, you just pick and choose the skinny ones. But no, TVB is one of the biggest company in the entertainment industry here. I just looked up TVB female actress in Cantonese, and this is one of the photos I found. There's a plus-size singer here called Joyce Chan. I don't keep up with people in the entertainment industry, but I do know she gets quite a lot of hate, and some of them are simply from her size. I remember one time I was at a telecommunications shop. Joyce was being displayed on the TV, and the two staffs were discussing about her looks. I remember what he exactly said.
Oh, she's so disgusting. It would be so much better if she stays low-key. Dressing up and think she's all that is disgusting.
I may do a separate video on how it's like living here. Now that you have an overview of the culture and beauty standard here, it's time to talk about my own struggle with body image since elementary school. My weight did fluctuate throughout my entire life, and my experiences are different at different life stages as well, so I will take you through it. I'm 5'2", 158 centimeters, and I currently weigh about 53-54 kilograms. I struggled with body dysmorphia for the longest time. When I was preparing for the script for this video, I was planning to say I was chubby growing up, but then I looked back at this book, which has records of my weight and height from elementary school to high school, 12 years in total. Then I realized I wasn't overweight until middle school. I'll show you the data later, but if I wasn't overweight, why did I feel like I was chubby growing up? Because people told me I was. And these words just turned into a reality in my head. If you guys didn't know already, the way you determine a healthy BMI for a child is different from that of an adult. You don't just look at the BMI on its own, instead you look at which percentile the BMI falls into compared with children of the same age. That's why an increase in BMI doesn't necessarily mean a child is less healthy. You should focus on the percentile instead. If the BMI of a child falls between the 5th and the 85th percentile, it means the child has a healthy weight. But no one told me about this before. Here's a table of my weight during primary school. Because just simply looking at it, if I see my weight at the 70th percentile, I would think I was overweight because I was heavier than 70% of people. I'm referring to weight instead of BMI because inside here, it only has two separate graphs for my weight and my height, but not BMI. So I needed to use a separate platform to generate data for my BMI. I remember I was insecure about my body since elementary school. I remember so well because I still remember the girls I would compare myself to. We did body check every year, and between primary 5 and primary 6, there was a period I actively tried to lose weight. I was only 11 years old. I remember so clearly because I still remember what I exactly did, the statistics, and how I felt. And I'm going to tell you all about them. I used to be obsessed with Coca-Cola, and during the time I was trying to lose weight, I completely stopped drinking Coke, and I would eat less in general, and during dinner I would mostly go for vegetables instead of meat. I did end up losing weight. I was 145 centimeters tall, and my weight dropped to 35 kilograms. But that didn't last long. My parents, family all noticed I lost weight. I remember I was so happy and proud of myself because I felt like I finally looked like other girls at school. I told my parents I took the initiative to lose weight, but they didn't believe me. They probably think I just lost weight naturally through puberty. But now that I'm thinking about it, it makes so much sense that they didn't believe me. I was only 11 years old. I was a kid. Here's a statistic of my body during middle school and high school. As you can see, I gained weight gradually in the first 2 years of middle school. I don't really know why. Then my weight became more steady. And during that time, my parents would tell me I need to lose weight from time to time. But their concern was never my health. It's all about my appearance. They would compare me with my cousin, my friends, people at my school, and tell me no one's this big. And they would make comments on my body like my thighs were bringing each other because I didn't have a thigh gap. I'm used to hearing these kind of comments, but it would still get to me quite often and hurt my feelings. Sometimes I would even cry about it. And at school, people would make fun of me as well, whether it's saying things or just being mean, basically bullying. The makeup culture here is really different as well. No one knows anything about makeup during middle school and high school, and we weren't allowed to wear makeup at school. But I started wearing makeup on a weekend when I hung out with my friends around the age of 15. During that time, Facebook was a thing, and I would always post photos with my makeup on. And people in my school would always discuss about it. but their focus wasn't my makeup. It's about me, an overweight person who tries to dress up. Their mindset is like, because I was overweight, I'm not allowed to dress up and feel confident. But do I care? Absolutely not. I always find it funny how people could invest so much time and energy onto someone's life. Fast forward to 2017, I gradually and naturally lost some weight. I was 120 pounds, so my BMI was 21.8, which is under the healthy/normal range. You think the fat shaming is going to stop there? Of course not. In summer 2017, I joined an internship program in Shanghai, which is organized by an organization here, and there were about 20 to 33 participants. The organization organized some activities for us, and we will all stay at the same hotel, so it's a group thing. And I would get shamed by people in the group, particularly the guys. And this was how I looked during that time. I wasn't fat at all. And after the summer, I transferred to another university. So I joined the orientation camp, and same thing happened again. I got fat shamed the entire time. I remember there was a game where the girl needs to sit on guy's shoulder. I didn't even want to participate in that one because I was still really conscious about my weight, but they all act like I'm a whale or something. And this is just one example of it. 2017 was kind of my peak during that time, since that was the skinniest I've ever been since puberty. And there were some Instagram photographers reaching out for collabs. Even though I felt really good about myself, there was always a part of me that felt insecure about my body. I would always spend around 30 minutes trying on different clothes before I head out, not because I had trouble picking an outfit, but I was always looking for an outfit that would make me appear skinnier, and I would always refuse to take full body pictures. I think it also has to do with the fact that I've been overweight for years, so I still see the old me in the mirror, even though I notice the change in my appearance, which is basically body dysmorphia. And in October 2017, I started gaining weight because I was struggling with binge eating disorder, which I'll do a separate video on. When I gained my first 10 pounds, people would point that out to me, but none of them were concerned about my mental health. They were talking about my appearance and how I had a glow down. Yes, they said that to my face. I gained 30 pounds in total with my eating disorder, which made me realize I wasn't fat at all before when I look back at my photos. Obviously, there will always be mean people, and some people can just never be educated about certain topics. But a lot of fat shaming does come from family, friends, or people that I personally know. I think it's several here because people are highly judgmental and the body standard is really strict here. On this spectrum of skinny and fat, it's like there is no gray area. If you're not skinny, that means you are fat. I know some people like to call their friends or family or loved one chubby or piggy as a cute, loving way. But there is not a clear line to define what's cute and what's offensive. And I don't understand how people can just assume you can go insult someone just because they're being friendly. Mental health is so overlooked here. You never know what someone's going through. I was looking at my archived Instagram posts and see if there was anything I could put in this video. And I was so surprised to see these comments from two of my ex-friends. Goddess among fat women. When will you send me photos, fat women? Actually, why don't you put more contour? Isn't it really trendy with American makeup? So that you can be skinnier. How do you look so much skinnier in photos? And one of my other friends liked this comment. Is this even a real question? Like, you wouldn't go comment on your friend's post and ask, how do you look so much prettier in photos either? Story time. There was a time I went on a date with a guy. He told me he liked me, but he couldn't date me because his friend told him I was fat and it bothers him. I was 130 pounds at that time with a BMI of 23.6. He asked me multiple times to lose weight even though he said he found me pretty. When my friend asked me why did we stop seeing each other, I just pretended we didn't get along. I never told anyone about it because I felt so embarrassed of myself. But now that I think about it, I don't even know why I need to be embarrassed because he's obviously a jerk. Some people also doesn't understand that fat shaming could be really subtle and indirect. It's not always saying you are fat in your face. I will give you some examples with my personal experiences. When I go eat with a group of people at a Chinese restaurant where we will share plates, sometimes people may ask,
"Oh, you've had enough already? I thought you have a huge appetite."
And during that orientation camp, we were playing a game on a bridge, and someone said, I'm gonna break the bridge. I can't even explain how embarrassed I felt every time someone says these kinds of things to me in front of others. The thing about fat shaming is that you can't even do anything about it. Don't get me wrong, I try to stop people obviously, but they would never take it seriously, and it will just make you look petty because it's just a joke in their opinions. So what you can do is just to laugh it off. Just a few days ago, I saw a girl my height post a story of her weight on a scale, which is 44 kilograms, and she called herself a pig. But her BMI was only 17.6, which is classified as underweight. I'm not pointing this out to skinny shame her. People can be naturally skinny, people can choose to be skinny. Everyone has their desired body type that they like to pursue or maintain. It's their body, their choice. But my point is, the girl is only one of the examples of many girls out here. It's really sad to see that girls struggle to love their body and constantly feel the need to lose weight just to meet the society's standard of beauty. It's not just about posting on social media. The need to lose weight or anything about weight loss is a topic people here talk about all the time. I know a lot of girls do struggle with body image and self-love, and being surrounded by this culture makes it even harder for them to battle their insecurities and be confident. But I'm happy to say that I no longer struggle with body dysmorphia. I know how my body looks very well, and I wear whatever I feel like in, which I've never felt this free before. That's a real long one, but please make sure to give it a big thumbs up. That will help me out a lot. And please share your thoughts or experience on body shaming. I always find it intriguing to see different opinions. I'll be doing more videos like this, so subscribe if you don't want to miss out. And let me know if there's any topics you want me to talk about. And Happy New Year, everyone!